All right. There hasn't been any traffic for like 5 minutes, and the moment I hit record, nothing but cars coming past. Welcome to 2025. Because of course there is another car coming. The one time I actually tried to record an intro and the fucking traffic just won't stop, will it? We're out on the Great Alpine Road. This is a road that I first did while I was still on my learners. It's in the mid-30s today. It's forecast for thunderstorms, but it's not going to happen. It's beautiful out here today. I really just thought, I wasn't sure if I was going to come out all this way, but I thought it's a great day to come back out and try this road again. Now currently I'm about 150 kilometres away from home already, so if I turn around and go home now, that's already a 300 kilometre return trip. So I get some people, usually from the UK, Europe, saying, oh, you've got such beautiful roads right on your doorstep. And I don't think you guys understand just how far I travel. I mean, to me, this is my part of the world. 150 kilometres is not that big of a deal for me, if I'm being honest. We are, of course, out on the Honda CB125F. And in case you were wondering how the Honda does in the hot Australian summer, it loves it. You just got to make sure that your oil's topped up and you won't have any issues. Yes, it's just an air-cooled engine. I've been out for 3 hours now, making sure I stop, drink plenty of water. And yeah, the bike is doing at least as good as it normally does. It's been a bit frustrating in the 100k zones because I've barely been able to crack over 90 kilometres an hour. But I've never had an issue with just pulling off the road rather than holding up traffic and getting people frustrated. But it's been my experience, even riding the 390 Duke, it doesn't matter if you're going 10k's over the speed limit, allegedly. There's always going to be someone who wants to overtake you anyway, so I just zipped up my jacket and my keys are inside. You're lying if you said you've never done that. Oh, far out. Look, at least I didn't get the helmet and gloves on first. I've done that too. Yes, it's probably, I could look at my phone, but I really don't want to, and I don't have I don't have anything on my dash that tells me the temperature outside, but it's, low 30 degrees, maybe. I wouldn't say it's as hot as 35, maybe 32 or 33. I'm still wearing full gear. And I'll be honest, once you get moving, it's not such a big deal. Bear with me while I shove the microphone away. Ah, god damn it. tell you right now, not that you can see what I'm doing, but putting this dead cat in is an absolute nuisance. That's valuable. I'm going to end up wasting 10 minutes before I even get on the goddamn bike. All right. Take two. Alright, now do my buttons back up. Alright. Tuck that back down in there. Alrighty! Ugh, yuck! The helmets get so bloody hot. Okay. Well, now that I'm in the helmet and it's probably sounding like I'm shouting at you in comparison, it is remarkably bloody hot out here today. And so the sooner I get moving again, the better. Now, I'm really going to try my best to remember to actually shoot the shit. So I often get on the bike and just get lost and forget that I'm supposed to be narrating. We'll see how we go. Okay. Like I say, I've been on the bike for 3 hours already, and I'm looking at adding another 2 or 3 before I turn around. So, my tailbone is fucking killing me. Oh, this is really loose. All right. Oh, it feels so much better just having the wind blowing down the jacket. Look, I really am an all the gear, all the time rider, because I know what it feels like to eat shit. And I'd rather be a little bit sweaty than have gravel rash from tripping over trying to get on the bike and falling over. That's all it takes to get the gravel rash. But I really think that I pulled over in a good section of road. My first trip down this road, I put the camera on back in town, and it was just a lot of, fairly straight and flat roads. Or flat, I mean straight. Whatever. Boring roads, nothing but farmland. But now we're actually entering the bush. This is more or less the exciting part of the Great Alpine Road. It's most people wouldn't make a day trip out of this ride, without planning on stopping somewhere either side of it. But I've always been a bit of a fan of the old iron butt ride, and today is no exception. Alrighty, so this road, if I remember, is mostly 80 k's now. It's another one of these roads that used to be 100. But I don't mind, because at least I know this little Honda is more capable of actually hitting 80 than trying to do 100 going uphill. It was rather silly of me to embark upon such a long journey when I was only on my L's. I'd been riding for about 3 or 4 months at that point. I calculated I went the long way round, basically halfway around the state. It ended up being an 830 kilometre ride. Earlier that day, though, I'd been already out in a ride, and I've done a couple of 100 k's earlier in the day, and so technically speaking I did over 1,000 k's in a day, but that is a bit of a misnomer because I didn't get home until about 5 a.m. the following morning. That singular ride ended up taking me 16 hours to do that 830 kilometres. But I mean, when you got a road like this, can you blame me for wanting to come out this far? Do you know what? This road surface is amazing. Wind noise. Yeah, we're doing full throttle and we're still barely hitting 80 k's an hour. There's an old road up there. I wonder why they changed it. We are, of course, climbing a bloody mountain. It's not called the Great Alpine Road because it's flat. And of course, the little 125 is really struggling. Yep, road surface hazard. Not really starting wide, am I? Start wide and tend to finish tight isn't really relevant when you've got to dodge road surface hazards, you know, potholes, leaves, sticks, you name it. But you keep it in the back of your mind. You really notice me going quiet when I'm dealing with some twisties, because I know that I'm not skilled enough to really narrate and ride really well at the same time, because I do get distracted by what I'm trying to say. So I mean, if you've ever sat through one of my riding videos, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I'll just go dead quiet, and that's often where I forget that I'm supposed to be entertaining somehow. I'm not suggesting that I'm the most entertaining thing out there, but I would rather focus on not falling off the bike than trying to remember what to say. I do wonder, you know, going downhill now and struggling to keep the bike under 80 k's an hour, it does make me wonder what kind of a presence that Highway Patrol has on this road, because it must be absolutely difficult to patrol. But for me, it's not worth the risk in letting the bike go above 80 k's an hour downhill, because they only have to catch you once. It doesn't matter if you get away with it 99% of the time. That 1%, potentially all it takes for you to lose your license. And I like riding. It's not why I ride a 125. I'm not afraid of going the speed limit. Don't want to incriminate myself there, but there is something visceral and enjoyable about being able to hold the throttle wide open. Even on the 390 Duke, it's like a 5-second twist on the throttle and you're already doing freeway speeds. And then you've got to back it off and let it cruise, and it's just not the same as sitting right up in the high RPMs, which, you know, a 125 being a 125 is most of the time you're sitting at above 6,000 RPM. Now, although this bike does not have a tachometer, I can read the RPM off of the OBD2 scanner, and through that I was able to see that this bike has a 9,000 RPM limit. The trouble is, it's only in a small set of circumstances, a very specific set of circumstances, that the bike will even hit that limit, and it's usually going downhill. And in fifth gear, that means 115 kilometres an hour, which, this is a bike that very rarely sees above 95 k's an hour. I do favour the inside shoulder because I'm just so paranoid of especially big vehicles cutting the corner, and I have seen that on numerous times and caught it on video too. In fact, it was twice in one day. It turns out it was the last time I was on this road. The first time was somewhere in South Gippsland in the twisties. A truck came around, cut the corner. No danger to me. I had enough visibility to see him coming. And then again on somewhere on this road, it was the same thing. I seen him coming, and no immediate danger to me. But it does happen, and you do see it all the time. How good is this road? Tambo River down there to our right. We'll get a better shot of that as we get lower. How pretty is this? Yep, you were cutting the corner, weren't you, buddy? I seen your tyres over the line, dipshit. I mean, I get mad about it, but as I say, there's no significant risk because I'm already buffering away from the middle line. 100 k's an hour, and there is no flipping way that we're going to be able to do that on this bike. Tambo River down there. Look, I just don't know how much this GoPro can see because I'm never entirely sure about where it's pointing. I may have to make an adjustment to my rear brake. It's feeling a little bit softer than I'd like. But it's not so bad that I feel like I need to pull over here. It's just next time I'm giving it a service, I'll wind it in another, half a turn or so. Because, the pads on the drum do wear out. Tambo River. I'm actually really surprised. I've essentially got this road to myself right now. I did expect it to be, busier. But I guess that's the good thing about riding a slower bike as well, is you're not likely to catch up to traffic, unless there is a particularly slow moving vehicle in front. There I am, forgetting to narrate again. I do find it a little bit frustrating in the sense of the bike will finally start picking up speed again, and then I'll want to slow down. But that's not necessarily a bad thing by any means, because there's no way that I'd want to take these corners at anything faster than what I'm doing anyway. But it would just be nice knowing that I could get up to 100 k's an hour, perhaps a little bit earlier, because I could slow down in the same amount of time anyway. Pig and whistle. That's what that sign said. The GoPro wouldn't have seen that. I wouldn't hate taking the Duke up here. But the Duke uses almost exactly twice as much fuel as this bike does. They've both got 11 litre tanks, and that's, you know, sort of how I judge it, tank by tank by tank. So when I do want to spend all day out on the Duke, I really have to make sure that I've got enough pocket money left over for an extra tank or two of fuel. Because the fuel economy of this bike does make you complacent about the distances you get to go. The trouble I find with riding such a brilliant road such as this is that my body is already so tired. As I say, I've been riding for nearly 2 to 3 hours just to get out to where I was. So I already feel how stiff and sore my body's getting. It would be absolutely delightful to ride this road feeling fresh. But paying for accommodation is just not something in my budget. Fuel I can afford. But a motel, you'd be lucky to get one for under $200 a night. And you know how far I could go on this bike on $200? Well, it cost me about $20 to fill up the tank, right? And at full raw, I get about 350 kilometres to the tank. Do that maths. That's a long bloody way. I just wish this bike had a little bit more poke. It doesn't need much to be a perfect bike. It just needs to be able to hit that 100 kilometres an hour a little bit more reliably. That's my only complaint about it. There's nothing even remotely close behind me now, so I don't need to worry about pulling off, pulling over. Okie dokie. Oh, there's rain over there on the other side of the hills. The GoPro probably won't even pick it up, but it looks like a vertical cloud in the distance. And the humidity just skyrocketed too. Whee! I do have a wet weather jacket in my tail bag. But it is so bloody hot out here. Normally, even on moderately warm days, I will still wear a jumper underneath my jacket. Because the wind chill is normally enough to still make you feel cold, but there is absolutely no chill in the air whatsoever. It is sticky and humid. Look, the forecast did say chance of thunderstorms, and I really hope that it doesn't come to that, because I am a very long way away from home, and I'm speaking from experience when I say that riding a long distance in wet gear is not fun. I mainly just hope that if it does start bucketing down, I've got somewhere to pull over and actually get my coat on. My shoes are not remotely weatherproof, neither are my gloves. And my pants, yuck, that was a dead kangaroo. My pants are weatherproof except for right at the crotch there's a freaking vent for airflow. So when I'm in my wet weather gear, I end up with wet hands, wet feet and wet undies. And the rest of myself is bone dry. And I'll tell you what, that is one of the worst sensations. Now, last time I did this ride, I said this earlier, but I went right over the top of Mount Hotham. And I ended up riding all through the middle of the night. Today I'm not going to do that. There's a town on the other side of these twisties. And I intend just to turn around and come back down this road and go home via Bairnsdale, which is of course was my last fuel stop, and I should be more or less filling up a full tank back in Bairnsdale, although it's a long way from Bairnsdale to Bright. I did that on 5.1 litres according to the fuel pump at Bright Amhole is where I filled up, and I measured, pretty easy to measure the distance on Google Maps between two petrol stations. I don't remember off the top of my head how far it was, but it was around, I'm not even gonna tell you. Go and watch my original Great Alpine Road video if you're interested. No, I don't think I mentioned it. I think I put it up in a community post. But it was a bloody long way anyway, and I did that on half a tank, so I expect I'll make it back all right. You fucking dickhead. I caught it on camera again, right over the middle line. I hope he fucking had a wake-up call. Hello, Bluey and Bingo. The GoPro won't catch that as more than a blur, I'm afraid. Okie dokie. I'm just not familiar enough with this road to really send it. Not that the bike's capable of really sending it anyway, but my point remains, I would rather slow down a bit too much than not enough. And if I have to explain why that is, we can't be mates. This is a brilliant road, and I'm going to keep apologising for it now, but I do need to shut up and concentrate, because I am a much better rider when I'm not worried about where the GoPro's pointing or worried about what I'm supposed to be talking about. Whereas in my last CB125 video, I was able to have a chat about a great many things because I was just tootling along at 40 to 50 k's an hour for the most part. And I do, you know, I actually prefer riding like that than riding flat out, but there is a time and place for each. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time in editing that I've cut out all the silent parts, but I think ultimately what I want to do is just leave it as a full ride. Long form videos don't do particularly well on YouTube, but I actually don't care about what the algorithm wants. I'll upload what I want. It's my channel and it's my riding experience. And you know what? Sometimes I just like to put my touring videos on in the background. I get to have some scenery playing on the telly, and I like listening to the purr of the engine. I used to keep a microphone running under the seat to get more of that engine noise, especially when I was struggling with the quality of the microphones that I was using. And honestly, that microphone under the seat has saved my footage on more than one occasion, because you really can't use cheap lav mics. I tried. I spent more money buying various cheap microphones than had I have just spent the $90 on the Rode lav that I have. I think nothing frustrates me more on this bike in particular than when I'm being held up by slow moving traffic, because I'm used to being one of the slowest vehicles on the road, but it's been my experience that slow driving car drivers are the most self-entitled fucking idiot drivers on the road. What is all this? Fuck that. What was my point? Oh yeah, there are they do open up extra lanes for slow-moving vehicles to pull over into. And in my experience, I don't think I've ever seen properly slow-moving like cars actually pull over. Like, you're holding everyone up. Don't act like you're in a rush getting somewhere. But they'll be like, no, they can just go slow and wait for me. Incidentally, this vehicle isn't going slow. They must be very familiar with the road. And it's now only 80 k's an hour anyway. But I am inclined just to give them plenty of space, because I cannot overtake. There's where the frustration comes from. I do not have the power to overtake a slow-moving vehicle. Yep. I've been riding with my sun visor down for most of today because it has been very, very glary, and it is a little bit ooh, that's definitely storm clouds on the other side of that hill, and I'm riding straight into it. What an idiot. Yeah, it's a little bit shadier down the bottom of this valley, but I just flicked it up then and the glare is still fairly intense. So I don't know, I don't really like riding with sunglasses. I never wear sunglasses anyway, but riding with them on would just piss me off. I like the flip down visor because otherwise I would probably have to pull over and take sunglasses off. Whereas I can just flick it up like that if I'm feeling like it's getting a bit dark. You know, I do apologise. I sometimes forget that the GoPro can't see exactly what my eyes can see. So that entire tirade was worth nothing to you, the viewer. Tambo River. Alrighty, this is about where I'd be wanting to turn around, I think, because that section that we just came through was the best part of this road. So we're at what, Ensay? So yeah, let's just turn around here. I have a bad habit of going, let's just keep going, let's keep going. But then the trouble is I've got all this distance I need to go back. So this little service road is a good, I've got to put my visor up. A little service road was a good indicator of when to turn around. And then we get to do all those twisties on the ride back. Which, this entire road, like the only reason I wanted to come out to the Great Alpine Road was that section of road. I mean, it's not that it's still not nice and twisty all the way up to Mount Hotham, but in terms of the distance that I'm willing to ride today, this is it. I don't need to ride so far just for twisty roads, but it's fun. So if I don't stop again, I'm probably still 3 hours away from home. My GoPro battery will not last that long, but I expect it will see me back to Bairnsdale, and I wouldn't want to film I wouldn't want to film the road from Bairnsdale to home because it's not interesting. It's just a boring old road and nothing but the bike struggling to go above 90 k's an hour. Whereas this, on the other hand, this is why I didn't press record until I got all the way out here. I wanted to make sure that I had enough footage. You know what? There are so many stones over the road. Fucking hell, I didn't get this on the other side because look at the edging here. Every time some idiot driver runs on the shoulder, they spray the loose gravel onto the road, which is a very real and clear and present danger on two wheels. If you do have to hit gravel, do it upright. Even if you're having to slow right down and slam on the anchors right at the end of a corner, get your bike upright. Better to overshoot a corner a little bit than wash out over some gravel. And I'm actually really nervous of that now because there is a lot of it. Some idiot driver right up my ass, which I didn't get coming down, or coming up I should say. But I'm not pulling over for them, not on this road, not with the shoulder the way it was. Give me a fucking proper turn off and then we'll talk. Can't even pull off there safely because one, there wasn't enough visibility, but two, the edging's so soft I would have instantly just fallen off. You spray stones up at me, you know what, I hit that gravel pile straight over the middle, but I couldn't see. That car threw up so much fucking dust. I knew I was going to hit it, and you know, practice what you preach, really. Get the bike upright. I got up on my pegs just a little bit. But what an asshole. What a fucking asshole. I put my hand up initially because I was expecting a spray of stones and gravel to hit my face, and I thought, well, shit, I'd rather gravel hit my armoured arm than potentially put scratches or a crack in my visor. I don't know how this visor would hold up to a stone. I mean, you think about it, you're driving in your car and some idiot car in front of you flicks up a rock, you get a cracked windscreen. This thin bit of plastic is a hell of a lot weaker than tempered glass windscreen. God, it smells so good up here. It's so fresh. Makes you wish that smell-o-vision was a thing. Well, normally I wouldn't recommend that watching my channel. But up here, the air is just so fresh and clean. And I just wish that I could share that. Oh my God. These road patches make me pretty nervous. I try to avoid them if possible. But now I'm nervous because I have to sit in position 3 and I'm paranoid about vehicles crossing the line. I do not have good visibility down the road because the corners are blind, as you can well see. Come on. I'll get the Duke up here one day. Bairnsdale, 65 kilometres to go. I fear for myself if I run onto that shoulder. To the GoPro it'll just look like a darker patch of asphalt, but it is just nothing but loose gravel. There's Bluey and Bingo. Hopefully the GoPro got a better view of them that time. starting to rain. Shit. I've got to find somewhere to pull over now. I am positively going to roast wearing my wet weather gear. Let me have a good look. Nah. Do you know what? I'll risk it. Oh, smells like roadkill. Oh my God. Hello. All I want to do, I don't want to overheat myself by putting on my rain jacket, but I will just fit the where is it? This is the weatherproof coat for my tail bag. I had a couple of drops of water and had a shit panic, but what I really wanted to do was have a look at the sky. I don't think that I needed to panic quite that much. Oh, my bum is killing me. Oh. Whoop! You know, I've got a couple of drops of rain on my visor. But the reality is it is far too hot to wear an extra layer. I'm going to regret it now because that's probably the only place I had to pull over. Right when I think it won't rain. It might just spit. Yeah, you crossed the line too, didn't you? Oh, you know what? All this time, has anyone noticed yet my mirrors? I've gone back to the proper mirrors because I dropped the bike in the backyard this morning, and I damaged my eBay mirrors that I've been using for yonks. So I had to pull these ones off the Duke, and yeah, I've got to sort out something for the Duke now. I do have the standard mirrors for the Duke, but they're in rubbish condition. probably get more of those noises when I have been riding for too long. Buddy, I do not have the power. I do not have the power. I do not have the power. You know what? Legend, old man. Legend. The irony is he's probably going to sit up my ass now. Because, truth be told, I was struggling to keep up with that car, let alone thinking that I was going to be able to pass him. I'm in a full tuck here because the bloke let me past. But now I'm on a hill and he's going to catch up again. Come on, 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 come on. That's the trouble, is that nobody knows that this bike isn't quick. It just looks like another motorbike. That's all right. That old bloke just restored my faith in humanity, because wasn't I just bitching about slow vehicles never... You know what, I will say though, he wasn't driving slowly. He was just a considerate old prick. The point I was trying to make earlier was that it's the people doing 40 k's an hour in an 80 zone are the ones that will never pull over. I was struggling to keep up with that car anyway, and he just pulled over out of courtesy. Good on you, mate. Good on you. Run out of things to say, so now I'll sing you a little song. Do 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 do. Rainy Creek, it fucking well better not. Both over the line, weren't ya? I see you. I had a really good run in not having any traffic that I caught up to on my way in. It makes me wonder what's so good about going in this direction that there's more traffic going back down. I can start to feel heavier raindrops, and I've got nowhere to pull over. That's right, they're probably expecting me to scream past, but I cannot scream past. By the time I caught up to them, I'm out of road. Dead set. It's starting to rain in earnest now. All right, I can't take shortcuts with this. All right, visor up. Now, where can I put you? Let's try and go this way. How are we looking? I might give that a tidy up while we're here. The reason I'm being so dramatic about pulling over is because the weather forecast is for legitimate thunderstorms, not just a bit of rain. And it's right on cue actually too. It said between 2 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon we would be getting thunderstorms. And I hate to tell you, but it is, let's see, currently 2:30 in the afternoon. So let me just... The good news is that because I've got the microphone wired up in my helmet, the GoPro is still waterproof, so I'll be able to leave you recording. Let's have a drink while we're here. It's starting to come down now. Have you seen these? They're called pack jackets. Because you literally it packs into itself. Ta-da! And I really desperately want to get this on before this rain gets any heavier. Did I put it on upside down? You idiot! Put my jacket on upside down. Ah! It's getting heavy. God damn it! I've got to take shelter under this tree because I've jammed some material up in my zipper and I can't actually do it up. Okay. My God, it started coming down so heavily. My God. All right. Now, I know the footage is going to be blurry as shit now, but what can I do about that? I just heard my first peal of thunder. My dead cat already got a bit wet. All right. Let's do my best to tuck the wires away. My God, I got moderate shelter underneath. There's the thunder. Well, the Great Alpine Road in a thunderstorm. This is going to test my skills riding. Look, the bike needed a wash, okay? I will be honest with you, it's not the riding that I'm worried about. Okay. Let's just... This rain came on so fast, and it's only getting heavier. Alright, the inside still feels relatively dry. I do have a reasonable amount of shelter under here, but I'm going to have to shut this visor now because I don't want to run the risk of getting water on the inside of my visor. These little gloves that I pulled out of my jacket, I need a little bit of air. They don't do anything for weatherproofing, but they do make a huge difference when it comes to warmth. Oh my God. I'm glad I turned around when I did. My God. I really hope the microphone picks up on that thunder peeling out over the hills. It sounds phenomenal. My God, it's flooding on the road. Don't take shortcuts with your safety gear. Get everything buckled up. Nice and tight. Alright, I did end up with a significant amount of water on the inside. Look at this, it's fucking flooded already. Alright, let's go. Oh dear. My vents are open. Now they are. Okay. I'm literally licking the dead cat because it's in my mouth. Visibility is exceptionally poor. My word. I'm just trying desperately to get the fluff from the microphone out of my mouth. I don't think anyone's going to judge me from slowing right down and erring on the side of caution here. I do have a great amount of trust in the tyres on this bike, but I am very scared right now. I think for me is the limited visibility. I do not have windscreen wipers. Okay, I'm very scared right now. So if you can imagine driving in a car without windscreen wipers, that's what it's like for me right now. I will definitely be utilising that slow vehicle turnout, I think, because okay, I've got to do something about the water inside this lens. There's nothing. Is that on the inside of my goddamn pin lock? It is too. I managed somehow somehow I've managed to get water inside the pin lock. That's just dumb. All right. Fucking hell. Did I close my vent again? Okay. Vents are open. I do have to crack my helmet because even with the pin lock I'm fogging up. Right, I just need to relax because I'm riding. Ooh, lightning. Holy fuck. I'm riding really tense now, and it is because I just can't see shit. I'm always advocating for just slowing down. There is a certain temptation, oh, if I just go quick I'll get out of it sooner, but what if I don't? I tried my best to keep the water off the inside of my visor because I knew this would happen. And I have a dry cloth in my bag, but there's no point getting it out. There we go. I've got my main visor open and my sun visor down. Couldn't do that at night, could you? It's keeping the majority of the rain off my eyes, but even though it's dark, I can still see more clearly than I could with the visor down. I don't know what it means for wind noise in the microphone, but we're not really going fast enough for it to be a massive factor anyway. Whoa, I felt the front wheel slip then. That was a close call. It wouldn't have looked like shit on the video, but take my word for it, the front wheel did have a slip. It just goes to show that the bike does want to stay upright. And because I was already relatively upright, when it slipped, it recovered itself. I wasn't travelling at such a speed where it washed right out, but it was scary enough to be able to feel it. Well, I've got the title of my video is the Great Alpine Road in a Thunderstorm. To lose the visor. No. The trouble is at the very top of the visor I've got this big amount of fog and water that I can't seem to shake. So I'm actually riding with the visor right open. I don't know. I still think having the sun visor down is the better option. My face is getting wet and cold and there's just not much I can do about that. I don't think the microphone's going to get waterlogged because it is fairly protected, you know, between my cheek and the padding and the microphone and the helmet. Plus there's the wind cap that's over the main phone part of the microphone anyway, so I think, you know, unless I fucking drop it in a puddle, I don't think a few raindrops is really going to matter. If anything, with the wet cat getting saturated, it might sound a little muted, but it's sitting that close to my mouth that the fur is tickling my lips. Okay, we seem to be out of the worst of it for now, but there's blue sky ahead of me, which gives me hope. But I really found myself in a shit panic. When I can't see properly, I start riding like in a real panic state, and forgive me for that, but I have had plenty of wet weather riding experience, but there is just something about having your visibility limited that just sets off my adrenaline, and not in a good fun way. The road doesn't seem too wet here, so I think we are through the worst of it. But I just wonder if the storm's going to catch up to me again. Yeah, I'm definitely through the rain now. I'm not going to risk taking my raincoat off by any means, but I can breathe a little bit easier now. Obviously the road here's got a little bit wet, but it hasn't been stormed on. We've got blue sky directly above us now. Still, that was not a pleasant sensation. That is Victorian weather for you though. If you don't like it, wait 5 minutes. We are past the worst of it. But I got absolutely bucketed on. Yeah, the roads here are still dry. How's that? How can we ride for 10 minutes, get absolutely saturated, and the road here wouldn't wet a tissue? Alright, I'm coming down off that adrenaline spike now, and I can feel my entire body getting more relaxed and calm. Like, I could feel the panic and my entire body went tense. And that is the worst way to ride, is uptight and tense. And I really tried to get myself to relax. I mean, that is why I pulled over into that second siding, because I was not going to do myself any favours by continuing to ride with my elbows locked and my shoulders tight. And now that I'm out of that rain, at least for the worst part, I'm calm and relaxed again. And I've said it multiple times, I'll say it again, it was entirely due to the fact that I couldn't see properly. Yeah, it's hot and humid again. So I'm hoping that riding with the visor open, it gives a chance to blow out the water that got on the inside. I know the wind noise is going to be damn near intolerable. Oh, I know why the dead cat was pissing me off, because I did not manage to tuck the wires away properly. Jesus, you wouldn't know that I'd gotten so wet looking at these roads. Has not seen a drop of rain yet. However, by the time I get back to Bairnsdale, A, I'm going to be out of GoPro battery. B, I've still got another 2 hours to go. So the chances of that weather catching up to me are pretty damn good. The only reason I'm tipping my head back like this is I'm trying to blow out the last few. I just seen the dead cat go flying out of my helmet. My God. Yeah. The dead cat is lost again. It's the second dead cat I've lost. I'm going to have to order a new one. I seen it go flying out the back. It's not attached to me at all. Hello. I've just confirmed that pardon me, I'm just going to stick that oh God, it is bloody hot and humid down here again. You would not know. Look at this shit. You wouldn't know that I just got thunderstormed on. No amount of wiping or drying is going to fix the water, because I just confirmed that it's actually in the tin lock. Ugh. This is fucking unbelievable. There hasn't been so much as a raindrop down here, and I'm in wet weather gear. I legitimately do not know where this GoPro has been pointing. The whole video is probably wonky. If it wasn't for the fact that my gloves are saturated, you wouldn't know. Can the GoPro see? In the mirror. I'm hoping. Dark clouds behind us still. You know what? That was really anticlimactic. I was expecting the entire road to be, the entire ride to be thunderstormy. And it literally lasted 10 minutes and saturated me. I can hear that thunder off in the distance. I do not think the GoPro or even my camera is going to pick it up. I'm a little annoyed about losing that dead cat. We're in the loose shit now. Whee! Okay. Whew. Don't ask me what that was about. Alright. As we were. I feel drained now, and that's not a good thing to be, considering I've still got such a long way to go to get home. At least I'm doing the smart thing and turning around and riding the way I came, because going the long way round adds, I'm not joking, 500 kilometres to the trip, as opposed to maybe I don't know, what did I say I was, 150 kilometres when away from home when I started the video. Which is a valid point. Maybe I'll keep an eye. I'm not sure exactly where I was when I pressed record. I don't even know if I've passed it. But that will be I have 150 k's to go to get home, which on this bike marks about 2 hours. I'm not even entirely sure how much battery the GoPro's got left. And it's only a Hero 7 Silver. I can't even change batteries out, so it does make it difficult to record longer rides. The car was right up my arse. Better just to pull over. I'm doing 20 k's under the speed limit, so it's more than reasonable to want to pull over and let him go. Yeah, I well and truly passed the area that I started the video on. This is what I originally didn't want to film. This is the boring part. It didn't even occur to me to keep an eye out. I think those angry clouds are going to catch up to me before I get home. Oh, come on! What are you doing, you fucking piece of shit? Isn't... Oh. I was holding the throttle wide open and the bike was telling me it did not want to do so much as 70 k's an hour. Like, that is absolute bullshit. Alright, I've already forgotten the name of the town I turned around in. But we are in Bruthen now. My God, how does the water get inside the pin lock? I'm going to have to take it out and clean it, aren't I? Well, I'm not doing that here. I'll wait till I get home, but I can see grit and water and grime. And no amount of wiping is going to fix it. Unbelievable. I can't believe I outrode the storm. I feel really anticlimactic now, I really do. There is not much bite left in that clutch whatsoever, so I'm going to have to be mindful of that. I fucking can't believe that I got saturated for the sake of 10 minutes. I don't trust that it's not going to catch up to me, you know, but it might. Right. Well, I'm not going to pull over again until I get to Bairnsdale, because I know that the GoPro battery is not lasting until I get home anyway. And mainly I want to get rid of this microphone out of the helmet and turn my turn the recording off for the audio. I'm honestly annoyed that I got that wet and that's what the sky looks like here. Fuck. Of course that's what it looks like on the other side. So I'm not going to get rid of the wet weather gear. Hoo-wee. I was umming and ahhing whether or not to go out to Lake's Entrance today. The distance probably would have been about the same, but nah, there's just something about the Great Alpine Road that calls me. And getting home at 5 o'clock that's a reasonable time to get home. K's an hour, we're full throttle and we're not even doing 75. We are on a significant hill, but I am at that point where, as much as I love the 125, I just get insanely frustrated by it. I don't think that we're going to get up this hill at any kind of speed either. But let's just pin it wide open and hope. I estimate, watch my hand, it won't move. We'll be doing 70 Ks by the top of this hill. $80, $77, $75, $74, $73, $72, $71, $70. I fucking called it, didn't I? $69 even. Can't tell me I don't know my own bike. That's what I talk about when I say that it is dangerously underpowered. Fuck you, Steve Wilson. there's honestly not a great deal of point in revving it out in fourth, because you look, we're not going to get any faster in fourth than I was doing in fifth anyway. Oh well. I think my next ride's going to have to be on the KTM. It's not as comfortable. I can't do these kind of distances on the Duke. It is just too uncomfortable. But it is a much better riding experience. I just see those dark grey clouds in my mirrors, and I just think, I'm glad I turned around when I did, because I'd hate to be riding further into it. And I really like worlds apart between the left and the right of me. This is going to sound dumb, but I'm going to almost be disappointed if the weather doesn't catch up to me in the end. Even though I know that, you know, the GoPro is going to die long before then anyway. Still recording. It's gone up to about 30 bloody degrees down here, and I'm absolutely roasting. The car behind me, fucking, were they going to overtake or what? I don't know. I'm doing the fucking speed limit. They just pulled right out onto the wrong side of the road. Fucking idiot. What was the point? What was the point? You fucking moron! I didn't need to calm my shit down. I'm not doing anyone any favours by getting like aggro like that. I wonder if they know they're about to get wet. I think what annoyed, that's what they did to me. What I was trying to say right before they repeated their idiocracy is that they're not just overtaking, getting it over and done with. They're fucking sit right up my ass, like they're sitting up the ass of the car that's in front of them, and they pull out and they just take their fucking time, and they don't actually get the fucking overtaking done with. I mean, I'm pegging the throttle wide open at, you know, not even doing 90 k's an hour. What the fuck is that about? But I don't want to be any closer to that car anyway. I want to put as much fucking distance between them and me as they can. This is pissing me off. Dangerously underpowered. You've really just got to let the little 125 do its own thing. I'm getting tired and cranky because I've been out for too long, and I just want to be home, and I would love it if this bike could just do the bloody speed limit. This is why I do not recommend a 125 for a beginner rider in a regional area. Sure, around town, around the suburbs, in the city, perfect starter bike. But out here, like in the country, nah, it's dangerous. It's dangerous to not be able to do the speed limit. And unfortunately, it's other road users that make it that dangerous in the first place. But that is just the reality of the world we live in. Alrighty, we're coming into Bairnsdale now. It's high time that I pulled over and had another stretch. I can feel the numbness in my bum starting to really hurt. Oh. I'm probably going to cut most of that out. Angry ranting aside. But as always, if you've stuck with me this long, thank you and I appreciate it. I'm going to find somewhere to pull over and then just switch everything off. And I really do think that I'll be safe to take off my riding gear, because look at this shit. You wouldn't think I just got caught in a thunderstorm. Lucknow. Yeah, right. This'll do. Probably better to pull over here than in the main street of Bairnsdale, where it's a little bit busier as well. Oh, yeah, I'm sore. So 2 hours to go to get home from here. Oh, fuck me. And I'm already very sore. And of course, the wet hasn't helped that. I'm cranky because my hands are wet, my socks are wet, my undies are wet, and it's hot and humid. Okay, that's it from me. Thing is, I just lost the cushion. Here it is. All that fuss over a little bloody thing. So yeah, I'm super annoyed that I lost another dead cat. Literally seen it fly out of my helmet. We've been going for 2 hours and 6 minutes now, which means that GoPro was about to die anyway. Bugger me. I'm going to lose this wet weather jacket and continue riding home, I think. Toodaloo.